This episode of The Nutrition Heretic has been brought to you by Big Island Soap Company.
At Big Island Soap Company, we believe that people who eat real food should use real soap. That's why our handcrafted Pioneer soaps are made from 100% pure ingredients, like tallow and lye, along with olive, coconut, and essential oils. We feature varieties such as soothing sage, relaxing lavender, and invigorating 100% Kona coffee for gentle cleansing without stripping your skin of precious oils. We even make a fragrance-free baby soap. You can find Big Island Soap Company every Sunday at the Hamakua Harvest Farmers Market on the Big Island of Hawaii.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
If you're still confused about what to eat and not getting the results you thought you'd get by going organic, go to nutritionheretic.com and download the shit list of 7 health foods to avoid like the plague for free. The shit list details what health food companies want you to believe about the crap they peddle and why the real foods they're meant to replace are far better. Stop letting big health food dump all over you and download the shit list today.
Fat is bad for you.
I just pop a pill and I'm fine.
Meat is murder. It's time for bad food punishment. It's time for real nourishment. It's time for the Nutrition Heretic.
The following program is provided as information only and may not be construed as medical or health advice. It is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. No action or inaction should be taken solely on the basis of the information provided here. Please consult with a licensed healthcare professional or doctor on any matter relating to your health and well-being. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Nutrition Heretic. This is Adrienne, the Nutrition Heretic, and today we're going to be talking to a very interesting woman. This is something that has been near and dear to my heart for the last several months, actually probably for about a year now. I'll explain that in a minute, but in today's news, the first successful penis transplant was conducted in Massachusetts. And at first, I heard this on the radio this morning when I was driving my kids to school, and I'm thinking to myself, what on earth is, why am I listening to this? It's not even Hawaiian news. Turns out a gentleman had his penis amputated after penile cancer. Because I'm thinking to myself, why a 64-year-old guy? Does he really need it anymore? But he had penile cancer, so it's legit. It's not just one of these frivolous things like when a woman gets boob jobs or something like that. So I hope that Mr. Thomas Manning is healing well. It sounds like everything is working and there is blood flow to the organ. So good to know about that. Okay, so this is what's going on with me, and I know I'm always talking about myself, but hell, it's my show and I can do whatever I want. But yeah, so this is not last Christmas, the Christmas before, I'm at a school function for my daughter, and this guy asks me if my daughter is my granddaughter. And I'm not that old. I mean, I guess technically I could be a grandmother, but I'm not. By the way, he was no prize. So why he thought that I was her grandmother was beyond me. But I assume he was younger than me. But not only did he tell me that that he didn't believe that I wasn't her grandmother. That was the problem. He says to me, he says, "Oh, are you her grandmother?" "No, I'm her mother." "Are you sure? Are you sure that are you really?" And then I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, I just met her dad, and he's young and good looking. So now he's not only telling me that I'm old, or that I look old, but he's telling me that I look ugly too." And I'm looking at him. He looks like a McDonald's hamburger burnt to a crisp, leathery. Again, not very good looking, but he's insisting that he met her father, who, by the way, he did not meet because he was off island. And, and he's telling me that he's much better looking than me and much younger than me. And there's no way in hell he would have found me attractive. So anyway, so this has been something that's plaguing me ever since because, every once in a while you go out and you feel kind of good about yourself and then somebody says something like that. And I think we've all been at that place where you go to work and you're like, wow, I feel really good today. And the first person you see says, boy, you look tired. So today I have a very lovely woman who does not look her age, but in the right way. Her name is Pamela Richardson. She is the author of Magical Essentials, and I consider her a heretic because I think that the makeup and beauty care people are going to come after her. You didn't know this, Pamela. They're going to come after her for making people look good, for pennies on the dollar for what they're charging for their snake oils and their beauty treatments that in many cases make them look older instead of younger. Pamela Richardson, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here to talk about essential oils and spread the word.
Yes, essential oils and your book Magical Essentials. I originally found it. I believe it's on Amazon, and I found it originally through. I think it was Lovely Books, a website that promotes books that are discounted or on sale and so on. And it caught my eye because not only were the reviews good, which we would all hope our books have good reviews, but it was clear that these people actually read the book and it wasn't contrived. It wasn't this kind of made up, this is my best friend, I'm going to give her a good review. These people actually took time to review what was the content and why anybody would want to buy this book. And those are generally the most genuine types of reviews. And that's what really caught my eye. And then I looked at your book. You were gracious enough to give me a review copy to have you on the show. And I saw a picture of you and I was like, this woman actually looks good. Like, she does not look. Can you please tell us how old you are?
I am 61.
Okay.
I will be 62 too soon.
I know it goes by fast, especially when you have kids who are really just a barometer for how fast time is passing. But you just revealed something that you actually smoke too.
Yes.
And so, a lot of people would like to say, oh, she's just got good genes. Did you always look as good as you look now? I've seen a couple of, pictures of you.
Yeah, absolutely not. When I was 50, it got to the point to where I didn't want to look in the mirror anymore.
Ouch.
I was aging so rapidly and I was so confused and I was having so many health issues. I had alopecia. I was losing my hair. I had toe fungus. I had nail fungus. I had shingles. I mean, I was falling apart.
Holy crap.
My immune system was compromised. And I was 50 and I looked like I was 60.
Ouch.
And I thought, oh my God, what's happening? What can I do? I'm already spending so much money on these high priced beauty products. And so I decided to do some research. I was willing to even pay more money because I didn't know what to do. And that's when I discovered that these products were prematurely aging me.
Yes.
Toxins, full of toxins that were thinning my skin, that were deepening my wrinkles, that was breaking down the collagen and the elastin fibers in my skin. And I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because what am I going to use? And so I did further research thinking, well, maybe I could make my own, maybe somehow without toxins. And that's when I ran across magical essential oils. And I will always say the word magical because that's exactly what they are. Because now at 60, I look 50, 40.
I would definitely say you look level 4, as my friend Blakely would put it. Just, in that 40 zone.
Yes, and that's what a lot of people tell me, and they're shocked when they find out how old I am.
Right. Well, with me, it's weird because it seems to run the gamut. I get people who think that I'm, maybe in my late 20s or early 30s, and then I get guys like this who clearly thought I was a senior citizen and was falling over. Clearly it wasn't my best night. It's very weird when that happens. So, like off the bat, can you think of some of the products that you were using that you felt were aging you?
Oh, I wouldn't even. Then they'll really be after me. Let's just say that. Let's just say it's over-the-counter products, okay?
Right. So it wasn't necessarily the stuff you see in the beauty section at Macy's or one of the big department stores.
Oh, these are name brands, big name brands.
So, but
All their money goes into marketing,
right.
not quality of their product.
Right. So maybe stuff that you might pick up at the drugstore more so, or more so the stuff that you would pick up at,
all of it.
Okay. So in other words, what some people may perceive to be the high end stuff, as well as the things that are in the lower, the drugstore quality, which people sometimes scoff at, let's say.
They use the same toxins.
Exactly, because they're all pretty much owned by the same company, aren't they?
I don't know about that, but I do know that marketing determines how much money they get for the product.
Right. And we could extend that anywhere into our food, into our medicine, and other things that we see, anything that's advertised on TV.
Right. Toxins is in our food supply too.
Yeah.
With the genetically modified foods. Same thing with personal care products. Toxins.
Right. Okay. So, but, and, I can attest to this. She has that nice, as I like to call it, cheek meat that makes people's faces look fuller, as opposed to, when people get older and their skin gets papery, which then leads to the wrinkling and the other dimpling and things unsightly things that we generally don't want at any age, let alone when we're aging. Because it doesn't necessarily make us feel good, and we all want to feel good inside and out.
Oh, I want to look in the mirror, and I want to look again.
Right. I love that. So, tell me a little bit about. You have something in the book that's called the ORAC scale. Can you explain that to people? What that is?
Well, the ORAC scale is a measurement of antioxidant capacity. And the aging process, as I understand it, is the action of free radicals that aggressively attack our tissues, causing irreversible damage, or should I say premature aging. Mm-hmm. And the consequences are accelerated aging and health issues.
Right.
And as long as our bodies keep these radicals in check in a healthy way, then we can stay youthful and healthy. And, of course, antioxidants are our weapons to keep these free radicals in check. Hence the reason for the test, the ORAC scale. And that was developed by USDA researchers at Tufts University in Boston. And the whole point was to identify the foods and substances that best fight free radicals that cause aging. So
it's literally just with regards to aging that the ORAC scale was developed?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because antioxidants combats aging.
Right.
And, of course, the more you partake of antioxidants, the more youthful and disease-free you will be.
Right.
And that testing is referred to as the ORAC scale, ORAC. And the higher the ORAC scale, the more capable that particular food or substance is of destroying free radicals.
Right. So then what's the benefit now when we're looking at the actual food and then the essential oil? And I'm just going to take something like basil. Basil, I can't remember exactly what you defined it as being good for in your book, but you talk about basil essential oil as a possibility for certain things. What if I just want to eat pesto all the time? What's the difference between the essential oil and just eating the food?
Well, with aging, the essential oils is topical. It's not digested.
Right.
And that is absorbed into your bloodstream.
Okay.
And for example, you put a drop of essential oil on the bottom of your foot, and it's going to reach every cell of your body within 21 minutes.
Right.
So what you're absorbing through your bloodstream, you want to be healthy.
Right.
You want to have a high antioxidant capacity.
What if I wanted to? I have fresh basil growing right outside my bedroom window, and I want to macerate that in some olive oil and put that on my skin. Is that how different is that going to be? Does it need to be through that distilled?
Yes, it does. But I discovered recently there's a new product on the market, and I am so anxious to have it. Usually, when you distill essential oils, it takes anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, and you have to have the equipment, and it's expensive.
Right.
And the reason why you'd want to do this is to have control over and ensure that you have a high quality essential oil, as opposed to buying it from companies that you're not certain of the quality.
Right.
But it's called the NX100, and it's a microwave system, and you can actually extract essential oils from the plant in 6 to 8 minutes in your microwave. It's new. It's just out. And independent research has shown that the microwave distilled oil is a higher quality than the steam distilled. And
That's interesting.
I am so anxious.
See, I'm not a fan of microwaves, so that it's going to take me a while to get over that hump to believe that. Again, just talking about
reviewing that. I'm going to be reviewing that product.
Okay, yeah, I want to know because it is microwaves, as I know them, destroy more nutrients and benefits and antioxidants than give life-giving qualities. So it would be...
Well, I thought so too, but
right.
independent research has shown differently. That you actually get a higher quality than the steam distilled.
Who's the independent researcher?
I don't know. I don't know. But I'm looking at purchasing something because I want to do it at home.
Right.
And I thought, well, let's work with this system first.
Right. And I actually did it. I actually did some steam distilling of roses. Somebody had given me a whole bunch of roses, and I was using that a long time ago. I did this, and I forget what the contraption was, but it was like a huge pot with a smaller pot and something else, and a little receptacle to catch the thing. It was a process. But I'm such a geek when it comes to trying to figure out how things are done. I want to know how everything is done. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see that last week I was making cacao because we have cacao pods growing on the island and my friend had some in her house, and I took a bunch home and I was fermenting them and I posted them because so few people know what cacao actually looks like before it turns into a chocolate bar. And it was interesting to see the array of responses that I got because people were like, what are those, pine nuts? I don't know, almonds? What's going on there? Is that some kind of fruit? I couldn't figure it out.
I just had a hot cup of that this morning.
Well, now you'll know what it looks like, and it's raw. Well, this wasn't even raw; these were roasted, but they were, that was 2 steps into it. I really should have taken pictures of everything because where food starts and where it ends up by the time we buy it at the store is so different. So this is how you got started. You started doing the research. You didn't like the way you looked in the mirror. You started doing the research. What were the changes that you saw?
Oh my God.
And how long did it take? I think that's what a lot of people want to know because people, we're instant gratification. Everything that we see on TV, you're going to have this in 7 days, in 6 weeks, whatever. How long did it take you?
Well, in the first year, all my symptoms were gone.
Wow.
And my health issues were cleared up. I would say I started noticing a difference in my skin, the texture and tone and elasticity within a month.
Okay.
And these essential oils, they have a very high vibration and a high frequency prevents disease. And it just wiped out that disease. It just wiped out all of it. No more fungus. It was just amazing. Amazing. I am just all for essential oils because they're so healthy. And, once those toxins are out of your body and you have nothing but the healthy essence of essential oils, you can reverse your aging at a rapid rate.
Wow. I got to start yesterday. I didn't also mention that I was in the health food store and the little pimply faced girl at the cash register said, "Oh, do you get the discount?" And I was like, "What discount?" She's like, the senior discount. And I was like, "Are you serious?" Are you serious? I don't know what. And then somebody really old was standing behind me. I'm like, she must think that's the crypt keeper because I don't look like that, and she's 75. So,
oh my!
Yeah, it was the most bizarre chain of events. I'm getting paranoid over here. I'm telling you. So yeah. Oh, that's phenomenal. I really have to jump on this.
It absolutely is.
That is phenomenal. Now, I think what a lot of people are asking themselves, we already know, we've established that you smoke. Have you changed anything else about your food at that time? Did you change the way you eat at all?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, because in looking at essential oils and discovering all these toxins, I also ran across the toxins that are in our food supply.
Right.
And I thought, well, no wonder. My immune system is compromised because I'm overloaded with toxins.
Right.
Absolutely. I started avoiding anything that's genetically modified. And this was after essential oils. This wasn't at the same time.
Right. So so the essential oils were working independently, but then by the end of the first year when you started doing the food and everything, that's where the real transformation in every level of your health, you would say?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I mean, just get rid of the toxins, whether that, both in your food supply and with your personal care products.
Right.
You can reverse aging.
Right. Right. And that's what everybody wants to know. So 1 month for the face to actually start responding, a year after I'm assuming it was during that first year that you started the food changes, and you're avoiding a lot of this pesticide, GMO,
Right.
genetically modified things that don't exist in nature. And yeah, you wouldn't look natural if you don't eat something that existed in nature. Right.
Well, I try to avoid toxins if at all possible. For that very reason, because I want to age beautifully.
Right.
Personally.
And I just find this fascinating because, and I'm not endorsing smoking, people, but she smokes. Yeah, she still smokes. And let's be honest, it's a certain level of toxins. But then again, if you really look at it, any food, because we obviously go to the bathroom for reasons to remove toxins, any food that we consume also has toxins. But I guess my point here is that we have made smoking the scapegoat for so much, when there are so many things that we're doing on a daily basis, independent of that are working against us, and in the most fundamental ways. So in your skincare and your food, if that's not coming together, a healthy body can detoxify heavy metals, E. coli, cigarette smoke, and so on and so forth. If you're reacting severely to these perfumes and all of this other stuff, chances are it's kind of, filling up a funnel so much that it's just spilling over now, is my point.
Right.
So, and this is a point I try to drive home with a lot of people, particularly my clients. I talk to them and I say, look, I understand this is, you're avoiding these certain things, but look at the day to day, 3 times a day, you're putting crap in your body. 5 times a day, 7 times a day. And then on top of it, you're putting, nasty things on top and underneath and so on and so forth. Okay. So we've established that the essential oils are the key. How are we using these essential oils? Tell us a little bit about the carrier oils.
Well, the carrier oils have just as many nutrients and vitamins and fatty acids as essential oils, and it's not near the topic, or it's not recognized as much as essential oils are, but they're just as nutrient dense. They're just as anti-aging. As a matter of fact, you have to have a carrier oil to use an essential oil, because essential oils are so powerful you cannot use them undiluted.
Right.
So you have to have the carrier oil, and they have so many health benefits of their own.
Right, exactly. So you want to, and what's the dilution rate on those?
2%.
Okay, so 2% of the essential oil to whatever your carrier oils are.
1 ounce of carrier oil.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
So what does that look like in terms of drops? I'm just trying to give people an idea of what their
12
ratio.
drops to an ounce.
12 drops to an ounce. Okay.
Yeah,
So it's not you don't need very much.
No, you don't.
So even though they may look expensive, $10, $19, whatever, for the oils that you choose, you're only using a little bit at a time. So this could theoretically last you a couple of years from just one bottle.
Well, it could, but I go through mine pretty quick, because I don't just I don't just use it on my face. I use it on my whole body.
Ooh.
Yeah, and my body loves it.
And this is my next question. My next question is the boobs, okay? You have a recipe in there. Well, you have recipes in there for things like breasts. Was this supposed to make these things that have fed 2 babies perkier? Or less?
Yep.
Really?
Perkier.
How? Yep. Is it like, if somebody's complaining that her boobs hang down near her navel, not me, someone else.
Not me.
Is she going to expect that she will?
Well, she will expect some firming.
Some firming, huh? So it actually confirm the skin.
Yes. Well, essential oils firm and tone.
Okay.
They're miraculous. I'm just saying.
See, I'm having a hard time believing that it can actually lift the boobs or the buttocks up.
Well, essential oils actually repair the collagen and the elastin of your skin.
Oh.
Which has been broken down over time with the toxins.
Right. And you know what else I saw? I went to the vitamin shop recently and I saw coffee oil.
Coffee oil.
Yes, somebody is selling. It's actually part of a blend. I forget what the other two oils in it was, but there's coffee oil, and I'm thinking caffeine, perky.
Yeah. Well, actually, caffeine is actually good for breaking up cellulite in your legs.
I believe that. And because one of the things that I believe about caffeine, about cellulite, is that one of the reasons most people get cellulite is from constipation. If you look at any of the books written on constipation, particularly the ones written in the 60s, there's a huge emphasis on the digestive tract. And getting things moving through the digestive tract, but not just by the typical things that we talk about today with fiber and all of that, but actually getting things to move out naturally through the digestive tract.
I would like to think that it's trapped toxins.
Yes, well, it's actually interstitial fluid that gets stuck in between the cells, and so that's telling me that there is something blocking the excretion of liquid. So there's, so when you look at it, again, before the big marketing push on a lot of this stuff, you look at a lot of the work that was done on cellulite, and they're all talking about the same thing, which is moving that fluid out. And a lot of that could be impacted feces, preventing you from urinating adequately. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Yeah, and we all know that first cup of coffee in the morning gets things moving.
Yeah.
So, and not only that, but is also diuretic. So, so that kind of makes sense. So she's got recipes for everything from hair loss, dandruff, neck, the jowly thing going on,
the hands, the
eyes,
face, the breasts,
nails,
bottom.
varicose veins, feet. You even have a recipe in there for blush. Yes. And, that may be a topic of my next book is on makeup,
essential oil cosmetics.
Yeah. And, people, when I asked on the Facebook page about this, they all wanted to think that it was about that side of cosmetics, the makeup side. I would love to see that book and review it. So let me know when you're doing that, because this is what women want. And similar to what you were talking about before, where people are spending dollar after dollar on these expensive treatments and this stuff. Very often I go to my P.O. box and I see women walking away with these boxes of whatever the latest miracle powder fad drink in a bottle weight loss thing. And I feel so bad for them, because not only do they need to really just eat real food, but they also need stuff like you're talking about. So you can see that they're overweight. I don't know if it's their first shipment, if it's their 20th shipment. None of them look like they're even close to reaching their health goal as far as weight loss, which is all what these boxes are touting. But also the aging. All of them seem to be in the same. That's the funny thing about me, with people telling me that I look so old. I don't have wrinkles. I don't have any wrinkles, no significant puffiness or anything. I have no idea what they're talking about. So, and if I had one of my assistants here, I'm pretty sure they would say that I don't look 65. I don't know what's going on with some people, but I don't, like I said, I get the gamut though. I get 20 something, apparently up to 60 something. So when you got started, how did you know where to start? Because I'm looking through your book and I'm seeing you've got things on cleansing and masks and toning, moisturizing. How does somebody start a regimen?
Well, I did all my research, and these recipes aren't mine. I got them off the internet. All this information in this book is off the internet. Okay. And oftentimes I ran into conflicts of information, because, the information out there isn't always correct. And I would find myself having to do further research. And we'll get into that in the misconceptions about essential oils. But I started by making some creams. I didn't really want to. I wasn't crazy about that. And what I ended up loving was my spray blends. And because I don't wear makeup, because I don't have to wear makeup, because I think clean is beautiful.
Right.
I use a spray, and I switch my blends around, and I spray my face throughout the day. When I got a shower, I spray my whole body, and I spray my face throughout the day. And all you really need to do with your skin is to keep it nutrient rich and hydrated. That's all you have to do. And I do that in a healthy way.
Wow.
And it's that simple. It is that simple.
Wow.
I get my essential. My carrier is glycerin because it's humectant, because I have dry, mature skin. And I love it, love it, love it. And clove is my favorite because it has 400 times more antioxidants than Chinese wolfberries, which is the most powerful.
Those
fruit.
are goji berries.
Well, no, Chinese wolfberries.
Okay. Why was I thinking that was a goji berry?
Well, goji berries has a high antioxidant level, but I think it's Chinese wolfberries.
Okay. I thought that was another name for the same thing, but I could be wrong on that. Don't. I haven't eaten goji berries in a while, so don't tell me that I don't know my stuff.
Well, I'm not an expert. I don't consider myself an expert. I just make it my business to age beautifully.
Well, you're clearly doing the right thing. So walk me through this now. When you say you do your research, you just mean trial and error. You just do what feels right and what you think is producing.
Right. What I think is working for me. I take a look at. In Magical Essentials, I've got the carrier oils and the essential oils by whether they're antibacterial or anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antiviral, antiseptic, astringent, an aphrodisiac, which I like, or an antioxidant. And I list it by skin types, whether, this particular oil is good for dry, mature, oily, or problem skin. So you experiment with some of these oils and see which ones make your face glow and tighten more than others.
Okay.
So it's just experiment.
And would you say that you would feel that on that level? What you talking about your skin feeling tight and so on? Would you say that you would feel that almost immediately within the first week, or would you just say go for the first month, like when you noticed what was working for you?
Within the first month. And even now, I found my perfect blend. I'm in love with clove.
Right, you were saying.
Yeah. Clove has the highest antioxidant level of essential oils. And, when I get up in the morning, I drink some water because obviously my body's been without water overnight.
Right.
And my face needs water too, nutrients and hydration. And I will stand there in front of the mirror and I will spray my face. And I literally stand there and watch my face plump up.
Get out of here.
I'm not kidding. I am not kidding.
Wow.
It's that fabulous.
Wow.
Because
okay.
my skin is just sucking that up and loving it.
Okay, so we go to our local whatever drugstore, right? We get a spray bottle, just a cheap, small spray bottle. 4 ounce. Okay.
Right.
And in your case, you're using glycerin?
Yes.
And
and I love it. And because I'm in a very dry climate here in Colorado.
Right. So you're going to so this is going to depend on where you are in the world as well as what your skin type is.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. And then you drink your water and then you spritz.
I spritz.
Okay.
I spritz.
And could the spritz work with the oils as well? Or are they too heavy to get through the spritzer?
Oh, no. The oils are in there, in the spritzer.
No, I mean the carrier oils.
Yes, the carrier oils are in there. Glycerin's a carrier oil.
I see. So
the thicker carrier oils.
Oh, you have other oils in there as well, is what you're saying. Other carrier oils?
I have my essential oil and my carrier oil and mixed with distilled water.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm trying to figure out is getting through the spritzer. Is there something else that we're missing from that equation?
It's 4 ounces, 4 ounce bottle. So I'll put 12 times 4. What is it?
48.
48. I'll put 48 drops of essential, and I'll put a quarter of that with glycerin, and the rest of it's distilled water.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. But you don't use an oilier oil like a baobab or olive.
Well, I could.
Oh, you could. Okay.
I could. Yeah, and it would work in the spray bottle.
And would you still do the distilled water with that?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. or you probably won't get it out of the bottle. Right?
Okay, that's what I'm trying to figure out, and help people along with understanding how that type of regimen works. Any particular cleansing ritual that you have that you like to share?
Yeah.
Or again, a good rule of thumb. I know that you talk about some masks, and you may say to do them once or twice a week. Can you overdo it on cleansing?
Yes, you absolutely can. As a matter of fact, I use carrier oils to cleanse my face.
Okay.
I don't use any soap, organic or not. And you wouldn't think that oils would clean your face, but it does.
Oh, that's how they used to do it. The Romans used to oil their whole bodies up and then basically just scrape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm very cautious with that respect. Nothing toxic touches my body.
Yeah, I usually use water on my face, not a heck of a lot of soap, if any at all. Every once in a while, I may, if I go out, sometimes I do performances. This is my alter ego. Sometimes I'll do a performance and I'll actually wear makeup. So I want to get that off. What's the best way to get that off? Is it through because I want to get it out of my pores. I want your next book because I don't want to use OTC makeup anymore.
Right.
But, I will to get it out of my pores. I want something that's going to go a little deeper.
Right. Well, I use oils.
Okay.
I use the carrier oils.
Wow.
And, I may even mix an essential in.
Okay.
So
and you leave them on for a few minutes and then just wipe off?
Yeah, I just wash my face with my hands and
just
gently,
rinse. Okay.
Very gently.
Right.
And rinse, and then I spray my face.
Wow.
Shower and my body. And you need to be very. I don't exfoliate very much. It's probably once a month, and I do it very, very, very gently because I don't want to break down the collagen and the elastin in my face.
Right.
It's very easy to do, and there's a misconception out there, which we will talk about later, about exfoliating. You got to be very, very, very cautious with that.
Right.
Why break down something you work so hard to repair?
Exactly. So what's your favorite exfoliant then?
I will use an organic brown sugar, for example, and I don't use much pressure at all. It doesn't take much to remove dead skin cells. I don't want to break down what's beneath it.
Right. That makes sense. And do you ever use essential oils in the brown sugar or just straight up?
Absolutely. Yeah, and carrier oils. Yeah.
And carrier oils. Okay, so you have a blend that you make.
Right.
Nice, very nice. So this is what I liked. This is another thing that I actually liked about your book was that it's not only a great idea for ourselves, but it's a great idea for gifts for other people.
Oh, absolutely.
You could make up batches of this facial scrub, for example, that you found works miracles for yourself, and give it away to your lady friends or even some gents.
Oh, anytime anyone comes over, it's like, can you make me a batch, please?
Yeah, right? You got $12? You got to pay for my time, okay? I know you just spent, 50 with such and such. I'm not going to name any names. So tell me a little bit about the differentiating the grades, because you do go through this in your book. You talk about pure and grade A. I've got a bunch of friends. They sell the doTERRA and the all the other MLM ones with Young Living and so on and so forth. Is it all BS? Are we looking at the same exact product with a different label?
I can't really say. Like I say, and it's my recommendation, buy the same essential oil from each company and determine yourself which is the better quality product.
Right.
Does it still continue to smell beautiful until the last drop?
Right. And you can even, if you go to the to your health food store, you could actually get samples and put those on your arm and walk around the store and, maybe come back a day later and find out which one. Well,
most likely the ones that are in the health food stores are the ones that only have 5% essential oils in them.
Okay.
Yet they can say it's 100%. So
I was going to say, because I have some, I'm staring at one right now and it says 100%.
Well, most likely if you got it from the health food store, it's 5%.
Okay.
So I wouldn't go that route.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would take the companies out there that have a reputation as being professionals and buy one from each company. And you decide which is the better pot, which is the better quality product.
Right.
Because if it's low quality, that aroma's not going to last. It's going to die off.
Right.
I'm not buying from them again.
And what when you say last, how long should we expect it to last?
Till the last drop.
Oh, you mean in the bottle?
In the bottle.
Ah, that's where I was breaking down. I thought you meant like put it on me and then smell. And
again, it has to be organic.
Right.
Or it will have toxins in it.
Right. Yeah, and then you're not only toxins but concentrated toxins.
Yeah, toxins. Toxins are toxins. They don't have to be
But what I mean is that because you're concentrating the essential oil, you'll have a higher concentration of toxins than even just the food would have had.
Right. It has to be organic, certified organic.
Okay.
Or you're throwing your money out the door.
Okay. So then this is my next question, because I know that a lot of the recipes that you have in the book come from companies like Now and Orcacia, which are in the health food store. Have you used those brands yourself?
No, actually, I use Mountain Rose herbs.
Okay.
But the reason why they're in my book is because they were wonderful enough as a company to have these recipes up on the internet. And I just gathered them. And I acknowledged the recipes.
Yes, and the sources.
Right. And those are the companies that I happened to run across that had the recipes.
Right.
So that's why they're in the book.
I see.
Put a recipe in the book if you can't find any.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And, I looked at all I had gathered for myself, and I thought, oh, my God, women need to know about this.
Right.
Women need to know about it, because I didn't know. I was 50 years old, and I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's why I decided to put this book together for women.
Right.
I want them to know. I don't want to happen to them what happened to me.
Right.
Had I known about this sooner, I would hardly have any wrinkles. I would look 20, trust me.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's still hope for me if I start now. I don't know. Like I told you, I don't have any wrinkles. I have no idea why people keep telling me I look so old. I do have more than my fair share of gray hairs, I gotta say, but kids.
Oh, well,
Yeah, whatever. So I use, for example, a blend of shea butter, cocoa butter, and local macnut oil. Sometimes with a little bit of lavender. What am I doing to my skin?
You're giving your skin vitamins, fatty acids, nutrients, hydration. You're doing wonderful things for your skin.
Okay. Well, maybe that has something to do with why I have no wrinkles. Now I just have to work on why I look so damn old. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's conveying the elderly part. I think I need a little more cheek meat. A little more than.
Or maybe they need glasses, right?
Yeah. Well, the one guy. After a while, I was like, okay, I think you're just trying to insult me. And the other girl, I don't think she was really looking at me. I think she was just kind of in that zone. It was like Tuesday, senior day, and maybe she was asking everybody for all I know. So who knows? But hopefully next time I have you on the show, I'll say, oh, somebody asked me if I was in college, if I graduated recently or something like that.
That would be fabulous.
Wouldn't it? Okay. So I'm going to check out Mountain Rose herbs. I expect everybody listening to this podcast to check out Mountain Rose and to definitely check out Magical Essentials, because this is going to be your anti-aging toolkit. It is an inexpensive book found on Amazon.com. Is it available other places?
No, currently it's on Amazon.
Okay. And so, yes, I expect every one of you to come back to me with a report. No, and let me know. But actually, we did have a couple of questions from some folks about aging beautifully. And okay, so, well, the first person, her name is Zan Yanish, and she misunderstood the question initially. She thought she was one of the people who thought that it was a makeup question. But what she really wants to know is what kind of cleansers can she make for herself to keep the moisture in balance and help skin elasticity with aging. Next year, I am in Club 40. So she would like to know.
Hmm. Well, jojoba is a great oil that balances the sebum in your skin.
Mm.
And that's a very common carrier oil used. And for elasticity, a lot of these will work, but once again, it depends on your skin type.
Right.
In Magical Essentials, for example, there's orange essential oil, and it's for dry, mature, oily, and problem skin.
Mm.
And it stimulates the production of collagen and elastin because it increases the blood flow to your skin, which smooths the appearance of fine lines, and it brightens and it impedes the development of wrinkles.
Okay.
But there are so many more other essential oils. Neroli essential oil improves elasticity in your skin,
Mm.
but it's for all skin types. Okay,
Right.
where orange is not.
Okay.
So and Magical Essentials has all the anti-aging, well, most of the anti-aging essential oils, and it tells you whether it's for dry skin or mature skin or oily skin. And some of these will restore skin elasticity, but it may not be for your skin type. But there
Right.
are options.
Right.
So,
Right. So yeah, and I think that's what I found myself doing when I went through the book is everybody does this with any book that has a recipe in it. Everybody just wants to just get to the recipes. Give me the formula. I just want to know what to do. I'm not even going to read the rest. She has a very detailed list of a huge variety of essential oils, many which I haven't even seen in this country. But a lot of times, some of the oils that you have, I've seen in other countries, in Europe, for example, but I haven't seen them here necessarily, and that just might be my locale and my particular health food store. But the point here is to make sure you go through the entire book when you get the book. And that's not an if, that's a when you get the book.
Yeah.
Go make sure that you go through it and you look at each one and really take time to digest. Okay, here is the list of ones that should be good for my skin type. Here are the ones, these are the problems I'm working on. People can put a combination of these oils in there as well. They don't have to just stick to one. Like right now you're comfortable with clove. But what if they wanted to put clove in, let's say orange?
Right, but I also switch my blends around. I don't use the same ones because I want to get benefits of the nutrients from different oils.
Right. So you may just have one at a time that you're using, and then
Right. I'll use clove for a week, or I'll use rose for a week, or I'll use carrot seed, and sometimes I mix with others.
Yeah.
But I mix it up. I mix my blends up.
Right.
I don't use the same thing all the time.
And that makes sense because like you're saying, you want to get the different nutrients and target different areas, but also our climates are changing constantly. And if we're respecting not only our skin, but what's going on outside in our environment, whether it's the colder, drier time of year or more humid, what have you, you want to reflect that as well with your choices.
Change your blend, right. Mm-hmm.
Right. And in that you're probably changing your carrier oil in some cases as well.
Right. And like the carrier oil, for example, if you have oily skin, you want to use a lighter carrier oil. And if you've got dry skin, you want to use a heavier carrier oil. And that's just common sense.
Right. Right. Exactly. Because you don't want something sitting on top of your skin. You want something that your skin can use as food.
Right. And, if you have oily skin, choose oils with astringent properties. If you have problem skin, choose oils that are antibacterial or antimicrobial. If you have mature skin, choose oils that are regenerative for new cell growth.
Okay.
Sensitive skin, choose oils that are anti-inflammatory to smooth and calm. If you've got dry skin, choose oils that are hydrating to attract moisture, like vegetable glycerin.
Right.
And again, like you said, there's the climate to consider too. How dry, how humid.
And that's where the artistry comes in. That's where you start playing and you start doing what you did, which is to figure out what works for you.
Absolutely.
Right. I was going to start to say like, oh, so give us an example of an astringent oil. And then you just kept going on and on and on. It's all in the book, guys. It's all in the book. Trust me, it's all in the book. She goes into amazing detail, in the book, for your skin type. So definitely you want to check that out. So,
There's one thing else I wanted to mention though, as far as, carrier oils, you want to make sure those are also organic and they're cold pressed, so the nutrients aren't processed out of them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Especially because a lot of these are mono or just unsaturated oils, and those have a higher tendency to break down under heat.
They need to be cold pressed.
So we have another question from Nikola Popovich, and he wants to know any good homemade shower gel or shampoo recipe. I don't know if you want to cover anything along those lines. Or is that the next book?
Well, again, for me, being in such a dry climate, I don't deal with any soaps whatsoever. I will take an organic conditioner and I will wash my hair with that.
Right.
And it actually, because of the oils, I use rosemary on my hair, essential oil, and it actually does clean. You wouldn't think that it would, but it does.
And she also has hot oil hair treatments in the book. So that's something else you want to look into. What I actually do for my hair is I've gotten off of all soaps, all commercial stuff. I use clay. I use bentonite clay on my hair, because I have super curly hair, kinky, not necessarily nappy, but kinky, curly, super curly hair. And I use a combination of clay with some cider vinegar and a little either mac nut or coconut oil, depending on what is available in my pantry at the time, and hot water. And then I mask my hair with that and I rinse it. Would I be doing better to add some rosemary or whatever essential oil to that? Or my body butter I use on my hair too, by the way.
Yeah. Well, what you're doing sounds excellent. It sounds so healthy. Rosemary is actually good for hair growth.
Yeah. What's good for hair white?
Hair white?
Yeah, my hair is just turning white. What's anything? I heard sage is good. Actually, but I've heard that it's really just from the actual sage leaves and dyeing that it actually will dye the hair.
See, that's a new one for me.
It's an old witchcraft book I had.
I love it. I love it.
It talks about rinsing your hair with sage water.
Well, I would tend to believe that because essential oils have been used historically as medicines before synthetic drugs.
Right.
That's why they are so powerful and they have so many uses medically and for anti-aging. They're absolutely magical. And so, I believe that. If you read that in a book that was historically speaking, it's probably true. It's probably true.
Right. Yeah. It's just a pain in the butt to get coordinated to do that thing. I have enough sage water, although I have sage growing very nicely in my garden, so I may put it to good use that way. And our final question comes from Norma Rickman, who has a very lovely way of putting this. Any anti-aging skincare tips for those of us getting too close to our, quote, freshness date expiring?
Freshness date expiring?
Yes. In other words, she's feeling the effects of aging. So not as fresh and young and fresh-faced as she used to. And I know that this has been the overriding topic of today's show. But any tips for those of us getting on in age?
Tips would be, number one, get magical essentials.
Yes.
Yeah. Discover the beauty secrets that essential oils contain and what they could do for you. Utilize the recipes because they're absolutely fantastic. I mean, from head to toe. And then experiment. Find the blends you love the best and switch them around, as I said before, to get the benefits from the essential oils and carrier oils that they have to offer. And you will find blends that you will absolutely fall in love with and that your skin will fall in love with. And I recommend absolutely keep that spray on hand and you spray your face throughout the body because all your face really needs is the nutrients from the essential and carrier oils and the fatty acids and the moisture.
Right.
The hydration. That's all your skin needs.
Right.
Because it's healthy. It's healthy. And your body will love you for it. And you will reverse aging. If you continue to use these toxins, you are going to continue to age. And one of these days, like me, you're going to look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I could have sworn I was 50 yesterday.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing that she brings up, and I believe Norma is in my private Facebook group, which Pamela, you're welcome to come in there if you'd like, and anybody listening is allowed to come in there. Just let me know. But one thing that I wanted to mention is that I've known Norma for a few years, and I think she looks great actually. But she has this question, and what her question is bringing up for me is sort of the reverse of what I said before, because, there is one side of aging where their skin gets thinner and more papery, but there's another side to aging that I've noticed, and it's right around that freshness date of right around 50 years old. A lot of women, or late 40s, or not just women, anyone getting around that age, sometimes they almost seem to get puffy. The skin might actually get thinner, but the cheeks seem to get a little bit puffier, and it's a different kind of aging. I'm not sure if you understand what I'm talking about.
Well, that may be a result of the toxic food supply.
Okay.
That's the only thing that I can think of.
Right.
Because these toxins are trapped in your body, weakening your immune system. Your body can't process them. And that may be what that is. I mean, take a look. We're looking at obese America. And
yes.
It's because...
And these aren't necessarily obese people, and many of these people, they take care of themselves. But I do notice that some people, for whatever reason, seem to puff up just a little bit right around that age. And I can't put my finger on it. It's not necessarily a sagging. It's just, they just seem to be, well, maybe it is a little jowly, now that I think about it. It may be that they get a little bit jowly, so that could be it could be tugging on the skin, maybe.
Well, I don't have that problem. And
sorry, can't relate. Talk to the hand. Thank you very much, Pamela.
No, I'm sorry. The only thing I can say is they're not avoiding enough toxins.
Right.
They need to do a little more avoidance. They need to turn to fat-burning foods, healthy fat-burning foods. And it must be a little bit of weight gain there happening.
Well, some of these cases, there might be a little bit of abdominal weight gain. I can think of a few people offhand. I'm not going to name any names. But yeah, no, I can see with a few people, there might be some abdominal weight gain that goes along with that as well. So kind of thinking that menopausal stage, right? Okay.
Well, no, I don't think it's menopausal because...
No, I'm just saying it's somewhere in that menopausal stage where they start to gain that midsection weight, that it might be a reflection of that. So now that you made that connection for me, I'm going to pay more attention.
Right. I think it's because they're still getting too many toxins.
Yes.
Through their skincare and through their diet.
Right.
The key to health is to avoid the toxins.
Right. And it is interesting to note that a great many products, pretty darn close to 100% of the products that we see even in our health food stores that claim they're 100% organic and so on, and they've still got these toxins floating in them, the same stuff that we keep saying that we're trying to avoid. Appears.
You've got to read the label.
Right. And sometimes they appear under different names too.
Yes, they do. As a matter of fact, there are, in skincare, stay away from parabens, because those are estrogen mimicking chemicals, and they're used widely in cosmetics and body lotions as preservatives.
Right.
And they've been linked to hormone disruptions and cancer of the reproductive systems. And then there's phthalates, which are often hidden in products under the name of fragrance. If you see fragrance or parabens of any kind, stay away.
Right.
They're cancer causing. They cause disorders, breast cancer, infertility, diabetes, cancer. Fragrance, stay away from it. And there's another preservative called formaldehyde. And that's been linked to skin irritation and cancer. If you have irritations on your skin, take a look at the product label.
Yeah.
That's probably the cause.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And, and these toxins, over-the-counter toxins, your skin eventually, over time, loses its natural ability to moisturize. The skin depends on these toxins.
Right.
And it's very, very, very toxic and so very unhealthy, and you are not going to age beautifully.
Right.
And I am proof.
Right. And
I am also proof what essential oils and carrier oils can do.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's so easy for people to just sit back and naysay, oh, no, it's not going to work for me and whatever. Well, try it. You won't know until you try, and you don't want to look back and regret it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I want to feel forever young.
Yeah. You could sing a song about it. So, but yeah, I mean, it just stands to reason that, you put in what you want to get out.
So, skin hydrated.
Right.
Crucial. Yeah.
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Pamela. The book is Magical Essentials. You can find her on Facebook at the Magical Essentials page. And you can find Pamela Richardson also on Facebook personally. And are you on Twitter or any other social media?
I am everywhere. I'm Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram.
All right.
Have I left any out? There's so many. I'm everywhere.
Oh, and the one thing I did not mention is that Pamela was also gracious enough to give us a primer exclusive to the Nutrition Heretic podcast. So if you go to her episode on nutritionheretic.com/podcast, you will be able to download a free, totally free mini booklet that she put together for us that also includes a recipe to get you started. All right. Thank you so much once again, Pamela, and looking forward to seeing the rest of you next time on the Nutrition Heretic podcast.
Thank you so much. I've had a great time.
Fantastic. We'll have you back when you get your other book written.
Thank you so much. Have
a
great day.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
The Nutrition Heretic Podcast is a production of Savor the Journey, LLC. Our audio editor is Nikola Popovich. Our podcast manager is Crystal McLean, and our operations manager is Linda Hansen. I'm your host, Adrienne Hugh, the Nutrition Heretic. You can find us at nutritionheretic.com, where you can download the Nutrition Heretic's free shit list of 7 health foods to avoid like the plague. You can also listen to previous episodes at nutritionheretic.com/podcast. Be sure to like us on social media for updates. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/nutritionheretic and on Twitter @NutriHeretic. Contact us with show ideas, questions, or if you just want to be a guest. And don't forget to rate our podcast on iTunes and Stitcher. Thanks.